The air here feels ancient. It is thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. A deep silence hangs over the land, broken only by the hum of insects or the distant call of a bird. This is the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is a land of immense scale, a place where the horizon seems to stretch into forever. The forests are not just trees, they are towering cathedrals of green, so dense that daylight struggles to reach the floor. Standing at the edge of this great expanse, one feels a sense of profound reverence. It is as if you are in the presence of a sleeping giant, a world that has existed long before us and will continue long after we are gone. The sky above is a vast, open canvas. In the early morning it is a soft shade of pearl, brushed with streaks of orange and pink. By midday, it becomes an intense, brilliant blue. Clouds drift slowly, their shadows moving like great silent ships across the landscape below. There's a slowness to everything here. Time does not rush, it flows. It moves with the gentle sway of the high canopy and the patient unfolding of a fern. This land does not demand your attention with noise and haste. Instead, it invites you to be still. It asks you to listen, to watch, and to simply be present in its quiet, powerful embrace. This is a world that breathes. You can feel its life force in the warm, humid air that touches your skin. You can see it in the endless green that carpets the hills and valleys. The sheer vitality is overwhelming. Every leaf, every vine, every creature is part of a complex and delicate web of existence. The scale of this ecosystem is difficult to comprehend. It is one of the planet's great lungs, inhaling and exhaling, sustaining life far beyond its own borders. To witness it firsthand is to understand something fundamental about the Earth itself. It is a reminder of the raw, untamed beauty that still exists in the hidden corners of our world. And yet, this introduction is not complete without acknowledging a profound quietness that goes beyond the sounds of nature. It is the quiet of stories, untold. It is the silence of a people whose lives are deeply intertwined with this magnificent yet challenging land. As we begin this journey, we do so with a sense of wonder, but also with a sense of humility. We are guests in a place of immense beauty and staggering complexity. The giant is whispering, and our task is to listen carefully to the stories it has to share, both of its incredible natural wealth and the deep human struggles that unfold within its shadow. If you want to continue exploring the wonders and challenges of the Congo with us, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. The Congo River is the country's lifeblood. It is not just a body of water, it is a presence. Its surface, wide and calm in some places, reflects the sky like a perfect mirror. In others, it churns with a powerful, relentless force. We travel upon it in a simple wooden boat, the engine a low thrum against the immense quiet. The water moves with a purpose, a steady flow that has carved its path through this continent for millennia. Its currents are the arteries of the land, carrying life, trade, and stories from the deep interior to the distant coast. The river feels alive, a serpent of water moving through the heart of the jungle. Watching the riverbank is like watching a slow-motion film. The dense wall of green is occasionally broken by a small clearing, a fishing village perched precariously on the muddy shore. Children wave as we pass, their laughter carrying faintly across the water. A fisherman casts his net in a wide, graceful arc, a movement repeated by generations before him. The scene is timeless. There is a rhythm to life here, dictated by the rising and falling of the river, the cycles of the sun and moon. The river provides, but it also takes. It is a source of sustenance and a constant, powerful force that shapes the very existence of those who live beside it. The sounds of the river are a symphony of nature. The gentle lapping of water against the hull of our boat. The deep, guttural call of a hippo from a nearby inlet. The splash of a fish breaking the surface. As day turns to evening, the sounds change. The air fills with the chorus of frogs and the chirping of crickets. The setting sun paints the water in shades of gold and crimson, a breathtaking spectacle that happens every day, yet feels like a unique gift each time. There is a peace here, a tranquility that seeps into your soul. It is a reminder of a simpler, more elemental way of being. This journey along the river is a journey into the heart of the Congo's great paradox. The water teems with fish. The surrounding land is lush and fertile. Everything appears abundant, a paradise of natural resources. Yet the villages we pass are studies in simplicity. The homes are made of mud and thatch. The tools are basic. The people possess a quiet dignity, but the signs of hardship are unmistakable. The river flows past it all, a silent witness to the incredible wealth of the land and the profound poverty of the people who call it home. It carries these contrasting truths along its entire length. We leave the river behind and step into the forest. The change is immediate. The world shrinks, enclosed by a canopy of leaves so thick that the sky disappears. Sunlight filters down in narrow shafts, illuminating patches of the forest floor like spotlights on a stage. The air grows cooler, heavy with the smell of decay and new life. Every step is deliberate, cushioned by a thick layer of fallen leaves. We move in single file, our footsteps muted by the soft ground. The silence here is different from the river's quiet. It is a watchful silence, filled with the unseen presence of countless living things. Our guides lead us deeper, their movements sure and silent. They communicate with hand signals, their senses attuned to the subtle language of the forest. A broken twig, a faint track in the mud, the distant snap of a branch, nothing escapes their notice. We are searching for one of the forest's most iconic inhabitants, the mountain gorilla. The trek is arduous. We climb steep, muddy slopes, pulling ourselves up by grabbing onto vines and roots. The humidity is intense, and the air is alive with the hum of insects. This is their world, and we are merely temporary intruders, moving with respect and caution. And then, we find them. The moment is one of pure, unadulterated awe. A family of gorillas rests in a small clearing. A large silverback, the patriarch, sits quietly. His immense form, a study in calm power. He watches us with intelligent, curious eyes. There is no aggression in his gaze, only a deep, soulful awareness. A young gorilla playfully tumbles through the leaves while its mother grooms it with gentle hands. Their movements are slow, deliberate, and remarkably human. In that moment, the barrier between our species seems to dissolve. We are simply primates, sharing a quiet moment in the heart of an ancient forest. The silverback's gaze holds you. It is a look that seems to penetrate deep into your being, a silent communication that transcends language. It speaks of a life lived in harmony with this forest, a world of complex social bonds and quiet dignity. Here, in the presence of these magnificent creatures, the troubles of the human world seem to fade away. This is life in its purest form. It is a powerful reminder of what is at stake, of the incredible biodiversity that this land holds. The forest is not just a collection of trees, it is a sanctuary, a living, breathing treasure that must be protected. Beneath the soil of this lush green world lies another kind of wealth. The ground is unimaginably rich. It holds some of the planet's most valuable minerals: cobalt, copper, diamonds, gold, and coltan. The building blocks of our modern technological age are found here in astonishing quantities. This is the great and tragic paradox of the Congo. It is a country blessed with a geological fortune that could lift its people out of poverty, fund schools and hospitals, and build a prosperous future. The potential is staggering, a treasure chest buried just beneath the surface of the land. The reality, however, is a stark and painful contrast. The extraction of this wealth is often a brutal and desperate affair. We see small, unregulated mines, where men and even children toil in hazardous conditions. They dig into the earth with basic tools, their bodies covered in dust and mud. They work for a pittance, their labor fueling a global supply chain that most of them will never understand or benefit from. The wealth flows out of the ground and out of the country, leaving behind scarred landscapes and broken communities. The very resources that should be a blessing have in many ways become a curse. This contrast is visible everywhere. We see trucks laden with precious minerals rumbling down dirt roads, passing villages that have no electricity or running water. The mobile phones that are powered by the coltan, mined here, are luxuries far beyond the reach of the miners themselves. It is a disconnect so profound that it is difficult to fully grasp. The land provides, but its gifts are intercepted, diverted, and controlled by forces far from these small communities. The people who live on top of this immense fortune remain among the poorest on the planet. The forest, the river, and the earth are all connected in this story of wealth and want. The unregulated mining pollutes the rivers, affecting the fish that people depend on. The clearing of land for mines destroys precious habitats, threatening the wildlife we came to see. The social fabric of communities is torn apart by the lure of quick money and the conflicts that often surround valuable resources. The natural abundance of the Congo and the deep poverty of its people are not two separate stories. They are two sides of the same coin, inextricably linked in a complex and often heartbreaking narrative.